Good day everyone, I'm Hurley of Barafy Reviews here, back at it again with my review for the Snowsky Echo Mini. But before we proceed, I'd like to make an announcement that from this point forward, I'll do my best to review in English first, then proceed with my Tagalog summary later on the part of every video I review. This is to ensure that most of my audience or reviewers are understanding or are able to understand what I discuss. Yeah, I've come to decide. I have come to make a decision like that because most people are asking if there's a Tagalog review, and at the same time there are also other people that are asking for my English review. So I I'm doing my reviews in a two-in-one manner, if you may. Okay, and this is not my English is not my native language, so please do bear with me if there are times that my grammar, or there are grammatical errors or my grammars are incorrect, or there are times that I'll be stuttering because I am still learning to speak properly or to speak correctly or fluently in English, because I mostly do English reviews in written form. Okay, before I proceed, I'd like to thank Snowsky or FiiO for sending this unit to me in an exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured na all of my reviews are transparent and honest to the core, like I always do, for the benefit of everyone, including me, because I won't be doing any extensive edits or any filters as I review or do video reviews. Okay? So, as you may know, I have reviewed the Snowsky the Snowsky Retro Nano before, or like last month, which is a Bluetooth DAC amp that costs around $50. Well, the Snowsky Echo Mini, this one, is also is a digital audio player, or a DAP. It is a music player that costs around $50. So you might ask at some point on what are their differences, on how they perform, why are they similarly priced. So we'll discuss and know it as we go to the parts of the review. Okay, so here's the box. As you can see, here's the box. It is your usual Snowsky theme or Snowsky motif. It is very colorful, youthful, vibrant, and in blue. But I got the black colorway, as you can see, of the Echo Mini. Because most reviewers are already reviewing the color blue and the pink version, which also speaks some retro vibes to it. Because if you do not know, or if you are not as old as me, I guess the colors pink and blue are usually associated with the retro vibes or the 90s vibes when I was a kid. So I guess Snowsky thought well of that and put that colors as well. Okay, so what you'll get in terms of accessories is not much when compared to the Retro Nano, in my humble opinion. You'll only get a USB-A to USB-C cable for your charging or data transfer, and some manual, which you will be needing for the first hour or two when you are navigating or using the Snowsky Echo Mini. But that's just it. Unlike Snowsky Retro Nano, where they included an extra stickers and cable and a lanyard, while this one only has the data or charging cable, the manuals, and that's just it. For $50, I cannot complain because it has all the things you need for you to start using the Echo Mini right away. But then again, if I were to suggest a case, an included case or a lanyard strap would be nice. However, upon talking with the Snowsky or FiiO, they said that they will be releasing a leather case for the Snowsky Echo Mini soon. So it will be sold separately. I know it's kind of a slight bummer, but at least that exists, okay, for this digital audio player. Hey, so as you can see, here's the Snowsky Echo Mini in all of its glory. Yes, it is very compact. You can see, I'm a small person and it fits well with my hand. See, it's very compact. It is also made of plastic, but it is the good type of plastic, as it does not feel any cheap. It does not feel cheap plastic. It does not feel any hollow at all. In fact, it is very compact and very, very solid to the hand. Even the buttons are very tactile. I don't know if you'll hear it, but as you can see, it is very, very tactile for its price. The buttons are also plastic as well. Do take note of that. Okay, so here is the front part. As you can see, here's the logo, the Snowsky Echo Mini, and here's the screen. The screen is a it isn't touch sensitive, but it is very clear throughout the day, and it is prone to smudges, as you can see, but it is very manageable for $50 US. If I were to nitpick, I would suggest that they should put a screen protector, whether it be pre-installed or separately included in the box, for a good treat for everyone, you know. Okay, so as you can see, here's the other side. I don't know, let's focus, let me focus it. Okay, I don't think it will focus, but there, as you can see, there's the USB type C port and the micro SD port. Okay, this doesn't have any included micro SD card, but it does have an onboard storage of 8 gigabytes for you to get started immediately. For some people, it is very small, but then again, this is $50, so please do manage your expectations on that one. Okay, and here's a lanyard strap, but it doesn't have a lanyard strap hole or lanyard hole, but it does not have a lanyard strap, which is quite a bummer to me. But hey, again, it's $50. You can tolerate that. Okay, and here's the other side. It does have the balance and the 3.5mm ports and a reset button. Okay, so in paper, yes, this is very, very capable of pairing well with IEMs, flatted earbuds, and even headphones on most of the time. Okay, and we go back here, since I'd like to point out that this not support any external DAC mode or something like that, or a mode that can be used as a USB DAC mode for a computer or a phone, because the only purpose of this port is for you to charge and transfer your files or your audio files. Okay, and here's the back. As you can see, there's nothing too much, and this is where I am slightly disappointed with the Echo Mini, because unlike the Retro Nano, you cannot replace this on your own. The battery, you cannot the included battery is prefixed, or it means that you cannot remove the battery with the Snowsky Echo Mini yourself. You have to use some tampering or anything that is quite intrusive, in my opinion, which is quite a downer, because they already had a cutout of the battery door for you to change the battery, and yet they did they did not let me, or they did not let their customer to remove their battery, the included battery, which can be a bummer. But again, for its price, it is quite I guess it is quite passable. But personally, it isn't for me, because they already did that with the Retro Nano, so I don't see any possible excuse as to why they did not do it with the Echo Mini. Okay, but hey, maybe that's just me. Okay, now we proceed to the pairing or the device compatibility. Again, I had no problems. I had no problems using or pairing the Snowsky Echo Mini across on all of my devices. Whether it be the most expensive IEM I have here, which is the Duno Alpha 3, or the cheapest one, which is a Virtual Electronics Monk Plus. I had no problems pairing it with those. Even with my headphones, the Sivga Answer and the Kiwi Ears Ardor, I had no problems pairing it with this one. I did not experience any underpowered scenario or any lacking in that regard. But again, do expect that you'll get a more or less 100 USD experience when it comes to device compatibility and power. And also do take note that I have already updated this one before using it, because the FiiO or Snowsky recommended me to do so before using and reviewing it. When I got this out of the box, it is in the firmware version 1.2.0. Then they recommended me to update it to version 1.3.0, then started reviewing it. Then a week later, they announced the version 1.4.0, which I then upgraded to it as well. Currently, this has the version 1.4.0 firmware update. So my review will only be the very least or very limited to the version 1.4.0 firmware update based on my experience. So do take a note of that, because from what I know, there will also be a possible future updates for this one depending on how Snowsky or FiiO handles the Echo Mini. Okay, so as you can see, now we can okay, we'll discuss the battery life first. Okay, so the battery life with the Snowsky Echo Mini is very, very excellent in my opinion for its price. I managed to get 13 hours on continuous usage. Yes, I kinda clocked it in. Whenever I use the Snowsky Echo Mini for the past week, I only charged the Snowsky Echo Mini for 2 times in just 1 week, which is amazing for its price and for its performance. I can definitely say that it is very, very reliable whenever you use it during commutes, or for what do you call this, for daily errand rundowns, or for work, or for school. You will be what do you call this, you will be confident, you can confidently use and rely on this one on those types of scenarios. And the charging time will take about 2 hours. Yes, it will charge up to 2 hours for you to get a full charge, which is quite decent but not the fastest that I know. But it is again very possible since you'll be using this for 13 hours continuous. So a 2-hour charge wouldn't be really a problem, in my opinion and my experience at least. Okay, now as for the sound of this one is very similar to the Retro Nano and very similar to most of FiiO's USB DACs on how it sounds. Actually, it is very, very similar with a touch of very mild difference. So if you are familiar with the FiiO house sound or the recent FiiO house sound, most of their sources sounds very neutral at most, with little to no coloration, with a very good technical performance. The Echo Mini, in the case of Echo Mini, it is still neutral. It still let the technical performance of an IEM, of a headphone, of a flathead earbud shine, while giving it a very mild coloration on the lower mids, which it adds a bit of warmth to it, but I wouldn't call it very, very noticeable unless you compare it side by side with something neutral, or something true neutral, or something very flat or transparent. Yes, so in a nutshell, I can confidently say that it is very neutral at best. It isn't really necessary a warm sounding, unless again you compare it side by side with a neutral or a bright sounding set or a pairing. Okay, so we'll now proceed with the controls. Okay, so here's the controls. As you can see, the red is the power button, volume buttons, the select or the play pause button, a multi-function button, and a return button. It is very intuitive. I find myself not relying or using the manual after 2 hours of using the Snowsky Echo Mini, which is a good thing, because I don't plan on reading manuals most of the time, unless it is unless if the device is a very complicated or a very complex gadget. Okay, so we'll turn this on. Again, do take note that I am in the version 1.4.0 firmware update. So yeah, there are some updates slash changes that my previous review for this one, my previous drop, has already changed. Okay, so as you can see, it is very, very, very simple, very retro. It reminds me of the cassette, which they aim, in my opinion. Yes, you do have the mini sections, as you can see. You have the volume indicator here, and the battery. As you can see, I am still in 2 bars which is crazy in my opinion. I have been using this for around 3 days now. Okay, so here's the music playing, here's the playlist, here's the file browser. I personally use this file browser because I keep my, what do you call this, I keep my files organized. I keep my files organized in folders. You can see every artist, every album they have, I keep them organized. But hey, that's just me. You can always use the playlist or the now playing function, which we'll discuss later on. Okay. Oh, and by the way, when you first boot this up, the whole language of the Snowsky Echo Mini will be in Chinese. But in the manual, they will teach you on how to change those settings as well. It isn't really complicated as well. Actually, you can do it without the manual. But yeah, they do have a tutorial on how to use it in English. Okay. So, as you can see, it is very organized. And during the version 1.4.0 update, I had no problems using or playing my files in folders within folders. Unlike the version 1.2.0 and 1.3.0, which had a hard time on playing those files as well. And also, the the naming of the files on the version 1.4.0 is also fixed because it is now on the ID3 tags instead of the music tags or the file name tags on the previous versions, which is a nice touch, or which is a good thing to me, because um as much as I love the retro motif wherein the file name is usually displayed when you are playing the audio tags, I prefer it in a very organized fashion. So like, let's play for example the like this one, Hollywood's Bleeding by Post Malone, one of my favorite albums. So let's say you can play Circles. Okay, it will, yes, you can see. Yan. Okay, as you can see, it is quite responsive for its price, but do take note, it isn't the most snappy, or it isn't the most fastest in terms of the overall experience or the overall performance. But do take note, this is a $50 digital player, so please do keep that in mind. And as you can see, here is the interface. Yes. So you can see, it is your usual basic music player. You get the album art, which you can toggle it on and off depending on what you prefer, and yeah, and you can see here what file type is it using, the seek. Yes, you can also do fast forward by holding it, or press backward, forward, as you can see, which is only included in the version 1.4.0 update. Yes, unlike the previous updates with which it does not exist, or it does not have that. So it is a nice touch on that one. And while you are playing your music, you can also do the certain options for you to customize the music player. So you can see you can use the cover display toggle, the volume limit. Also, in the volume limit, unlike the previous update, which can only handle up to 60 volume steps max, the version 1.4.0 upgraded it into 120 steps. So you do have to keep that in mind just in case. You can also do the repeat, the all repeat, single loop, sequential play, and shuffle play. You can also do a basic equalizer. Yes, this does have an equalizer, but it isn't really much. It isn't an 8-band or something professional equalizer. It's just a basic equalizer. It is nice to have, but personally, I don't use equalizer, but I do see some people using that one as well. Okay, so we do have the filter. Yes, I keep my filter on stock, which is the fast roll-off minimum, which in my opinion contributed to the sound signature that I have experienced or heard. Because when I use something like a linear phase, it becomes more neutral, to my ears at least. So, to keep things stock and very true to what Snowsky intended, I keep it at a fast roll-off minimum. And there's a gain adjustment as well, as you can see. Yes. Okay? Now we proceed. We go back, go back. Yan. In my opinion, the overall experience of the Snowsky Echo Mini is quite snappy for its price. However, I'd like to recommend that you should only use 16-bit FLAC or WAV files, or probably a MP3 320 if you can, because using a DSD files or a very heavy files such as the 24-bit 192 files may cause a bit of slowdown when you are using the Snowsky Echo Mini, based on my experience at least. But hey, no one is stopping you. Also, do take note that the onboard storage is again 8 gigabytes, and the maximum SD card that the Snowsky Echo Mini can support is up to 256 gigabytes, which for some people isn't a lot, especially if their files, or if you're using DSD files or high bitrate files most of the time. But as for someone who uses CD-RIP 16-bit files such as FLAC, WAV, or even MP3 320 files, this is plenty enough for me at least. Because at the end of the day, I won't be listening to all of this in one sitting, in my opinion, or in my experience at least. Okay, so we go to the, as you can see, here's the playlist as well. As what I have mentioned earlier, you can see you can do the now playing, all songs, your favorites, your artists, albums, the genres, the folders, and you can also update your media library in case that you cannot find what you included in the library. Okay, and here's the music setting, just like what we have discussed earlier. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, let's go back here. Okay, and there, as you can see, here's the system settings. Yes, this is the main difference, in my opinion. This is the main difference of the Snowsky Echo Mini compared to the Snowsky Retro Nano, in my opinion, despite them having nearly the same price tag. As you can see, the Snowsky Echo Mini also has Bluetooth settings, but it is very limited, and it is only limited to SBC codec. Unlike Snowsky Retro Nano, which supports up to LDAC 96 kilohertz, I believe. Yes, it supports LDAC or aptX or any of those higher bitrate wireless types, which can be a downer to some, which can be a disappointment to some. But in my opinion, you're getting a digital audio player, and in my opinion as well, you should use this in wired connection, because again, you have a 4.4 connection here, which uses a dual CSS DAC. So it would be a waste if you are using this in a wireless connection, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. Okay, as you can see, we do have the screen settings as well, the screen timeout, and the brightness setting. I have set this to the lowest, and as you can see, it is still bright and clear. Okay, let's try to adjust one. See, now we're at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, it is already bright at 1 actually, and it is brighter at 5. But to conserve battery, since I am using this during my errands, I keep it at 1. Okay, you can also do a timeout here as well. So you can see the shutdown setting, the power off timers, and power saving. You can also adjust your date and time, your interface style. You can also choose if you want the elegant white, which I do not personally like, so I keep it at midnight black, which what is in stock. Okay, and again, here's the language. Again, you can change it to your liking, and here's the information. As you can see, I got this with the hardware version 1.2.0, and I am now at the software version 1.4.0. Again, as you can see, the flash memory is 7 gig. I don't know why it is at 7 gigs, because the onboard storage on this one is 8 gigs, but hey, I guess it is what it is. And the card memory I have here is the 64 gig SD card. But again, you can always use a 256 SD card if you prefer. Okay. Now, the music support, as you can see, it supports DSD 64 up to 256, but I do not recommend those for storage saving, and at the same time, what do you call this? For a more snappier and faster way of navigating through the digital audio player. Again, you can also use 24-bit, 192 kHz, but I do not recommend those. The FLAC as well, you can also use 24-bit, 192, and the APE, 24-bit, 96. And it does not have any support for Super Audio CD or SAS CD or DTS. So my recommendation for this one is to stick with your 16-bit FLAC files or MP3 320 files or a WAV files or 16-bit WAV files. Okay? Again, you can also reset all settings here. You can also format the internal storage here, and you can also format the SD card here as well. Okay. Now I am switching to the Tagalog version or to the Tagalog summary of my review. Okay. So, bale si Snowsky Echo Mini is a $50 DAP. Yes, it is a $50 DAP, which is hindi ka na makakita ngayon ng iba pang alternative na $50 or 3,000 pesos unless na lang you may want to shell out a bit more brand new to get a Hibi R1. However, si Hibi R1 is a more what do you call this? Mas leaning siya towards sa easy to drive stuff na IEMs, headphones, or flatted earbuds. While ito, binibigyan ka na ng flexibility na gamitin to in a balanced connection. Oo. Tapos, ayun, si Hibi R1 uses Linux OS, which is, sabihin na natin nandun yung balance between visual aesthetics. Yes, the visual aesthetics and the decent power for your performance rather ng pairing mo. Unlike nito, this is mainly focused on the performance. Rather the visual aesthetic. However, gusto ko yung visual aesthetic nito. It is very unique. Pero yun nga, compared sa Hibi R1, mas leaning to sa performance. Also, this one uses RTOS, which is usually focuses more on the critical patterns at saka yung accuracy kumbaga ng yung pagiging critical sa oras na ginagamit din usually sa medical grade equipments as well. So it is very unique and very uncommon na nakita natin to sa Snowsky Echo Mini. Okay. So ayan, as you can see, ayun yung sinabi ko kanina, wala siyang battery. Hindi siya napapalitan ng battery, which is quite a sad thing. Wala rin siyang kasamang lanyard, which is also a sad thing. Unlike ng retro nano na may lanyard at napapalitan yung battery. And ayun, yun na yun eh. I mean, yun na talaga yung parang pinaka review doon for it. Again, sa sound, it is a neutral sounding, so wala kang magiging problem sa kahit anong i-pair mo dito. Actually, sa volume niya, it is decent at best. Yes, I see myself using this with most of my stuff around 50 to 80 out of 120 volume steps. Which is it is very decent kasi wala rin naman ako narinig na hiss or any floor noise. Very pitch black background. Okay, so verdict na tayo. Balik ako sa English. Okay, so what is my verdict for the Snowsky Echo Mini? Well, the Snowsky Echo Mini is currently my top recommendation if you are looking for a non-Android. Again, I'd like to emphasize or I'd like to point out that this is a non-Android digital audio player. If you are looking for a non-Android digital audio player under 5,000 pesos or under $100 that has the power or the basic necessities such as the 4.4 connection or 3.5 connection, has the basic Bluetooth connection, has the micro SD card slot expansion, and it is in Type-C, lasts for about 13 hours on a single charge. Well, look no further because the Snowsky Echo Mini handles that and performs to its paper specs really well. Again, I'd wholeheartedly recommend the Snowsky Echo Mini if you're looking for a solid entry-level digital audio player under $100. Definitely, this is a very unique digital audio player for Snowsky and for FiiO in that regard, because I haven't seen any digital audio player like this throughout my entire viewing or in my entire hobby time in this hobby. Okay, so hats off to Snowsky for doing the most unique yet very practical products in the market. Okay, and that ends my review for the Snowsky Echo Mini. Again, I'd like to thank Snowsky for sending this unit to me in an exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured that all of my reviews are honest and transparent to the core, like I always do, for the benefit of everybody. Okay, and I do have a lot of stuff to review. As you can see, there's still the FiiO DM13, and I still have the Tanchim Bunny, and I still have some Venture Electronics products on the way. So again, I am very stopped and I do have a lot of backlogs, so please bear with me with that. Okay, and see you on the next one. My device is overheating them.